So, very good morning and welcome to this course on operations management. And so, here we again are going to see a topic from Unit 4, which is designing operations. And here we're going to see the topic for the today's product development process. So, let us get into this details. So, product development process, let us understand what is product development by itself. Product development is actually a process where it is actually where you are in the process of bringing a new product to the market, right from idea generation through designing and testing and commercialization. So this is actually an end-to-end process. So it involves even idea generation is part of the product development. So we don't. So many people would imagine the product development is just the physical end conversion. No. So right from idea generation through designing of the product and then testing of the product and commercialization of the product, the entire loop is actually called product development. And why it is very important, as you know, the needs of the customer keep evolving, keep changing. So you have to come up with the new products. And then the company's revenue has to grow consistently. So they need new products actually to diversify the revenue. And then they also have to come up with the new products to strengthen the existing brand position. So these are some of the driving forces behind the product development. And what are the objectives? One is customer-centric. We have to develop products. The organization have to develop products which is actually genuinely addressing the customer needs. So he is actually the center of the focus. And then the speed to market. The products have to be really coming to the market in a very, very fast manner because the market, you have to become an early entrant in the market to capture the potential. So speed to market is a very important criteria. And then at what cost we bring out the product is also very important because the product development involves a lot of resources. So optimization the resources and bring out in a very cost-effective way so that all the stakeholders are satisfied is also very key objective of the product development. And then sustainable innovation. The products have to be very innovative and they have to achieve the parameters like performance as well as the quality and a longer period of innovation. And then we have, this is the stage of the development process where we start the idea generation, where we gather the raw concepts and insights. And then the ideas get screened for the feasibility and the validity and launch of them. And then the development of the concept is done. Crafting and testing of the product concepts, and then the business analysis, assessing market and financials. This is actually the stage, product development process stage. And let us look at it on the stages in a little more elaborate manner. So when the stages 1 and 2, where we have this ideation to screening stage, where we have a lot of ideas. Ideas come from a lot of sources, not only from the employees, they come from the customers, they come from the feedbacks, they come from the complaints, come from the employees, they come from market research, they come from competitors, and then they come from the trends. Now, some of the trend techniques here involve the brainstorming, SWOT analysis, and trend analysis. Stage 2, where we have this idea screening process. And the idea screening process actually weak and unfeasible ideas actually are removed out. What are the criteria which they use to filtering out is actually the market potential. If this is an idea which has got a good market potential and does it have a good feasibility of producing it, and then financial viability, do the company have the resources to produce it, then the strategic alignment with the organization. So these are actually the filtering techniques before we get to the idea scale. And when you go to the stages 3 and 4, concept and business cases, concept development and testing, where the features of the product are developed and what are the benefits of the product are developed. And then these are actually many prototypes are developed and then they are tested with the target customers. Now, the very, very important goal is actually the validation. The validation is a very, very key criteria because once the validation is actually very, very strongly done, then there is a very good chance that commercially the product will not fit. The next stage is the business analysis. The business analysis involves the estimation of the cost, the forecasting in terms of the revenue, and then profitability analysis and the break-even analysis. So this is helping actually whether the product is worth determining at a particular scale. And we come to the 5 and 6 stages where we build and test and validate again. Product design and development, and where we have where the physical product is now being developed, it gets a physical shape today. where we do the engineering design and the prototype development is done, the selection of the materials and the process planning, and then where we have simulation software like and as well as tools like computer-aided design. And then once a product is developed, you need to do the testing and validation again, where the various performance standards, there's a lot of testing like user testing, test marketing, functional testing. And then these are actually very helpful in refining the product and improvement before the launch. And then we talk about the commercial development models, commercialization and the development models. Now, once a particular product is very clearly tested, and then we want to take decisions on what are the pricing, what are the channels which you need to be distributed, and then the timing of the launch, and what are the various marketing and promotion strategies should be used. And then we have a concept called stage gate model, where actually it is actually a gate. If you know, a gate allows and then it blocks also. So the same concept is applied here actually. So we want to say uses and particular stage gates. What are the features that should be allowed? What are the features that should actually be stopped? So that this enables a good risk management and smart resource allocation. And then here, as we discussed in the last discussions, agile development and lean development is also part of the development models. So what are the challenges, success factors, and technologies? Now, what are the key challenges in terms of product development processes? One is actually the demand is actually going to be very uncertain. And then the technological change is very rapid. So whatever you bring in a technology might be getting outdated very fast. Then high development costs. Now, what are the success factors? Customer involvement is very important for a particular product development to be very successful. And we need a very strong market research. And then we need a cross-functional collaboration and then effective project management. And role of technology is AI ML for predictive insights, automation in design and testing. And then we have technologies today like digital twins and simulation and data analytics for decisions. What are the key takeaways? To finally, product development is very systematic and it's a very strategic process. And where agility and customer focus are at the core of it. And it actually is a very, very important process to ensure the competitive advantage of the company. Because a successful product development process creates a very lasting market differentiation. So thank you very much for patiently listening. Thank you all.